Hey everybody, this is Johnny Beane, and we're live. It's 5:05 p.m. California time, 8:05 Eastern time. It's 8:05, time to rock. John BL 5150 says. We got Jay Hannon.
Hello, everybody.
Hey man. David Nesdahl.
Hey.
Hey man. And Dave. Dave, who do we have with us tonight?
We have Favored Nation recording artist, Rob Balducci.
Hey.
Awesome. Hey, Rob.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you. Man, so what's I don't know. Who do we have in the chat? Who's watching?
Well, before we go through that, I just want to say, Mad Dog, I did not put you in timeout last week. I haven't used the timeout button in a long time, so someone else did that to you.
Yeah, it's very rare that me, Johnny, or Dave put anybody in timeout. In timeout, like it's a bunch of kids in the chat.
You're lucky if I even read the chat box. So,
Oh, God, timeout. You mean if anyone curses or anything?
well, no, I mean we don't really care about that. It's once it gets political or really below the belt, or so if it's someone trolling and being an idiot, then we'll do that. But we usually have people in the chat do it for us.
Yeah, or if Amanda Coombs falls asleep, she'll start banning people.
Yeah,
that's what happened last week.
Man. Clayton, hey, yeah, today it's Frankenstrat Friday. That's right, man. So, Dave, who's watching us? We got 33 people.
Yeah, we have Ben Coombs, Clayton James Hicks. Rob Balducci's watching us.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Yeah. Mad Dog, Ben Coombs again, RGD Mad 1, Bozique, Michael Bishop, John BL 5150, Broken Change, Janice Lala, Todd aka Soda Pop, Chris 46, Hal Face, Joe Hervey 84, who else do we have here? Ron Limber.
David Ennis.
Yeah, okay.
Broken Chains.
Oh, is that
John Bulwer?
Donald Davenport?
Boner Jams?
Donald Duck Davenport?
Boner Jams is here. He just sent me a video of him playing. I'm not going to play the video, but Rob, check out this guitar. The old
that's nice.
Yep, the old PGM 100.
I always wanted to get they released the guitar just for a little bit. It was the Paul Gilbert Talman. Did you ever see it? It was like,
oh no,
yeah, it had the things. It was only a short release. I wish I would have got that guitar.
Wow, and you have a Talman, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll get into that. You know which Paul Gilbert guitar I wish they released was the violin body one.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Right. White violin body looked like Paul McCartney's bass, but guitar wise,
yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, that one's awesome. Yeah. Hey, Janice, 802 Blues. Yeah. Well, hey, it's Friday night. It's March 22nd, 2019. Yeah. Hey, Vincent.
So if anyone has any questions for Rob, please ask. We'll get to as many questions as we can. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, how many records do you have out? What do you have, like 5 or 6?
I have 5 records out. I'm working on the 6th one right now.
How close is it to being finished?
Almost 5 songs recorded, and I have the way I kind of write is like I have like now with the freaking iPhone. I use like the voice, that
oh yeah
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now they even have one that's called like music thing, and you could like you could play into it, it records it. You could add a bass and drums to it. It gives you the stuff written out. It's crazy.
What happened? You gotta let me know what app that is.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's let me see. I have it right here. Instead of the voice thing.
I'm gonna download it right now.
I got too many freaking apps on my damn thing.
Everybody go on your iPhone and download this app.
Yeah, so that it doesn't.
Now I'm talking about it and I can't find it. Excuse me if I curse sometimes.
Everyone's going to download it at the same time and it won't work.
I gotta find it. Hold on. I'm always afraid to update my phone, like when I move phones, because it's not gonna like. I don't know if it's gonna copy all my ideas.
I know. I know. My phone. I can't even use iMovie anymore because I need to update.
Music memos.
Music memos. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna download it right now.
So basically, what I do is I come up with ideas. I record it like quick like that. So I have the skeleton for the other songs. So now it's just really, I'm doing it a song at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So probably another 5-6 songs to go.
Isn't it amazing from what it used to be, how you used to have to not only write an album but record an album? You know, it's just everything is so different now.
I know,
for better or for worse, whatever. But
the only thing is, I feel bad for the industry of the big time studios. It's everyone's doing the stuff themselves, which is cool. But I kind of like I remember like my first couple of records I went into I was fortunate enough to go into really nice studios. Power Station, my first record was done there. The two after that were done there, and it was called Avatar Studios. Beautiful studio. I mean, the rooms and the drum sounds you could get in there, like incredible. And it's sort of, what I found out as far as recording, you kind of forced, because of money to go in there, maybe like, me, it's not like I had the budget of, a month or something. So maybe I went in there like for a week or two, and you have to get it done. Now it's like, I'm doing my guitar tracks here. I could be a picky bastard and sit there and say, hey, like that. I'll do it again.
That one note. Let me overdub that one note.
Yeah. But it's actually, to me, for me, it's probably more of a curse because I sit and and I analyze it, and then I'm like, maybe I could do it better, or something like that. That's why I have a good friend of mine, Steve Simonson, who he produced and engineered the last record with me. He's sort of like my reins me in and says, it's friggin' fine, just leave it, go do the next thing.
It's good to have somebody like that. It really is. Yep. Especially when you're recording your own stuff. I mean, like you just said, you can be your own worst enemy with it. It's like, no, I'm gonna keep trying different things, and
Yeah,
I'm based out of New York. Somebody asked where I was based out of.
Yeah, we're neighbors.
How close are you guys to each other? You're in the next room.
No. Well, we're both on Long Island. I mean, you're on Long Island still. Right?
I'm in Queens, Jackson Heights.
Well, okay. Well, that's still part of Long Island, just not the Nassau County or Suffolk County.
No.
Yeah, you're not very far away at all.
So you're near.
I'd say about a half hour or less.
You ever record at Spin Studio in Queens?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I never did that. I did, I was really, when I say fortunate, I was fortunate enough to do like some of the big studios. I did Power Station, I did Hit Factory, and
I did places.
I did some stuff in Nashville at a place called Emerald Studios, which is a really nice studio that's on the the famous strip over there for the music places. But to be honest with you, guitar sounds, I'm getting just as good guitar sounds here as I did in those studios. I think it's really everything else. The big drum rooms is really what's where you get great sounds now. But with today's technology, you can get that in a app and like throw it on the drums, and it sounds like it's in that studio. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Your drummer 3, man.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, really, the record that I'm doing now, electronic kit put into the computer. Superior drummer, my drummer played it. I mean, it sounds great.
It's amazing. Remember 1986 when it was like Simmons drums and it was like god awful. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about like Def Leppard on Pyromania, and I read a thing with I guess it was the engineer. It wasn't Mutt Lange, but I guess he had said that all the drums were just programmed with, you know, the Simmons kit or whatever. And then like Mutt Lange actually went in and overdubbed the cymbals separately, and he played all the cymbals himself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you know, like back then, thinking of things like that these guys did, it was crazy.
Yeah, Satriani had to do that too on a couple of their records, where the drummer that was playing with at the time was this guy Jonathan Mover.
Yes, awesome drummer.
Yeah, he went in and did the cymbals, to put real cymbals, because the cymbals on those machines weren't as good, so they had to put the live stuff in. I think that must be even harder to do.
It's got to be.
Yeah, because I mean, ask any drummer. I mean, a lot of it is about feel, and like, you know, a lot of this just, if you're playing everything separate, how do you? It's gotta be weird.
I know.
In the chat, real quick, Vincent Wiener asks, he said there's a listing on his local Craigslist for a white gem, and he asks, when did those happen? I believe 1994 is the first year of the white gem 7V.
Yeah, and then I think just recently, didn't they do a re-release of it, like in the last?
Yeah, the way it was back then, with a ebony fretboard and a original edge,
right?
Floyd on it. Yeah. It's the newest one it's just as great as the first year of the white.
Well, the reason for the everyone was like weirded out, wanted to know why they changed the ebony and they changed it to rosewood, and on those the original gems, and the reason was because of basically, ebony is a very, I think the right term is porous, and the thing is it moves a lot, and since the Ibanez that on that neck, the gem is very thin, what happened was the neck was moving too much. Rosewood is stronger, so they actually changed production and put rosewood on it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that's why that changed.
It also makes the guitar sound warmer because ebony is a bit brittle.
Yeah.
And the rosewood is a warmer sounding wood. Either way, I like it either way. It's fine.
Me too. My favorite dark fretboard is rosewood, and I'm a fan of maple, and I'm a fan of now that the new what do you call
it? Roasted maple?
Yeah.
First of all, I love that guitar. I saw that guitar in your hands, and I started looking at him. I'm like, might that be my next one?
Is that like a pearl blue, right?
Yeah, it sort of has like a little sparkle in it.
And that looks awesome with the chrome. Oh man, look at that.
Yeah, the chrome knobs, and the chrome pickups, and that's a saturate in the bridge.
Yeah, it's a great pickup. Yeah, and a PAF Pro in the neck.
That's really cool. That's got to be the nicest guitar they make at the moment as a production guitar.
I think so. I like it really a lot. It's weird. There's like this whole on social media, I think, not really, anywhere else, but like people with the AZs. Or first of all, I'm an Ibanez guy. I've been with them officially 28 years. Can you believe that?
Wow.
But I was an RG guy, S guy, and then when they came out with this, I love it. I mean, and it's it's a little bit different because it's non-locking, but there's a different feel, and the thing stays in tune. I use the ball like a maniac. No problem.
That's incredible. And those tuning pegs are not locking tuners?
They're locking tuners.
Yeah. Okay. So at least it locks in one area.
There's no locking nut.
No Floyd. Yeah. No Floyd nut. Yeah.
But I mean, I love it. And I think that it definitely there's a different feel when you have a locking nut as opposed to not having it. And I'm kind of getting used to that feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A little slinkier. Would you?
I think the tension, the tension feels different, and I kind of dig it.
Now, do you know if that's a bone nut on there or is that plastic?
This one's bone.
Okay.
On the they also have the premiums. This is a Prestige, and I also have one of the premiums, which I kind of Balducci-ized here a little bit.
Yeah, look at that. Is that a cruiser pickup in the neck?
That is a
Satch track?
it's the Sats track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, this one's the same thing. I mean, it sounds great. And they have it's not bone in this one. It's
Mike Carter?
no, what's the name of it? It's that company that makes the it's the company that makes the for the Floyds and stuff and the Ibanez, they make the inserts here.
Oh,
Come on, Dave.
It's Graph. I think it's Graph. I think
Graph Tech.
Right. But
Graph
it sounds like that. It's Graftite or what the hell?
Okay. I'll look it up.
Yeah. But I mean, it's great. You know, this is 22 frets. Still has I think it still has stainless steel. Still you know, the tuning stability is great.
Mm-hmm. And you have a Wilkinson trem on there. It's so
This is an Ibanez trem that they made with Goto. So they joined forces and they came up with this one.
Okay. Is that the same trem that's on the Prestige?
Yeah, I think that the only difference is the pole pieces are not. These are not titanium, and those are titanium.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different of a tone, but you know, I kind of had to get used to it a little bit on the other guitar because the titanium makes it has a little brightness to it, where this one doesn't have the brightness. So it's really what you like. I mean, they're both fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It sounds good, just acoustically.
Yeah, that's the big telltale of all guitars. If it sounds good when it's not plugged in, you know it's going to sound good.
Yeah,
plugged in.
Yeah, I hardly ever plug a guitar in when I buy it. If I listen to it acoustically, if it resonates and and is loud, then it's going to sound good. You can always change the pickups if it doesn't sound good through an amp.
Yeah, see, I had this one made for me. They did a custom one for me, and this is way before the AZs came out, but basically this is an AZ. You know what I mean? It's except it has a Wilkinson. It doesn't have a locking. It has locking tuners.
Yeah.
And this is alder body. It's a really cool guitar. I call this one Violet Horizon because it's I had it made when I did my record called Violet Horizon, and I used it a lot on there.
Beautiful. And that's a LA custom shop.
Yeah.
Did TAC build that?
TAC is involved there. He's sort of like at this time. I'm not sure if he's actually doing the building. I think he's sort of like in supervision of the guys there.
Right. Yeah. So he's the shop steward.
TAC is still there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. John Bulware wants to know how low I set my action on my guitars. I set it to 2/64ths at the 12th fret, which is basically 1/32. It's super duper low. And that's also depending on how flat the radius of the fretboard is. On an Ibanez guitar like this one, it's easy to set it that low because it's a flat radius. It's not going to choke out. On a Fender Strat, it's got to be a little bit higher because the radius is more curved. And once you bend strings, it's gonna fret out. You'll lose the note. So usually between 1/32 and 1.5 30-seconds.
And how do you measure that?
I put in the middle of it, and if it fits. It fits. I'm Jewish. It's not that big. I use it's eyesight, and I put a guitar pick under the 12th fret, and if it stays without going through the strings, then it's pretty much the right height.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big thing about people talking about like fret string height and changing a tone and stuff, and and string gauge and all that stuff, and I'm a total non-believer in that sense. And if you listen to some of the guys that have the best tone, like I was fortunate enough to meet Billy Gibbons when he came around here the last time, and that's what I wanted to ask him. I said, "Are you really using 7s?" And he's like, "Yeah, I get custom-made 7s." And I was like, and so I said, all those people with the tone that you need 11s and 12s, like Steve, he said, the tone's in the hands. The strings don't mean anything. Either does the high. BB King did an interview, said the same thing. They were like, you know, because everyone heard that BB King used like heavy gauge strings, so they asked him. You know, this is probably like 15 years ago. This article, and he was like, "I use 8s." He's like, and they were like, "I thought you used these strings." He's like, "I used those when they didn't make them." He says, "Now they make them." He says, Why should you hurt your hands? It should be easy to play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what gauge strings do you use? You use
on 9s and some long. This I have 9s. Any guitars that don't have a bar on it, I use 10s, and everything else is 9s.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
Yeah, my string I use 9s through, and I add. I guess it's a 54 on top.
Very cool. Very cool. So which guitar that you have would you say is your most favorite, or your desert island guitar that you have?
You know, it's hard to say because, you know, every time I get a new guitar, like
that's your desert island for a little while.
I just use that. But I you know, everyone loves this guitar, and I guess it would have to be this one in the back here. This is just a killer axe.
You know, by the way, when Larry comes on, you're going to need to hide that seat, because he's going to want that seat.
What?
It's a zebra seat.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
It's gorgeous. That guitar is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, this is my favorite guitar. I mean,
it's very Ronnie North like.
That's true. He's very much into that green.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean the neck. You know, that looks basically like, and it could be ebony, but it's not. It's like a dark rosewood.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. You want to see really dark rosewood. It's always, you know, always the nicest looking.
Yeah, I mean this again. This is LA Custom Shop. I mean, they did some beautiful work for me. I have another guitar here, which I asked them for a dark rosewood, and like when my tech, I use this guy on Long Island. He's a really good guitar luthier. His name is Sal Tyne. He was doing the neck, and like, you know, he cleans it, and like it was coming off like with a white towel. It was coming off like burgundy looking and stuff, and it's like. It's some really like rare rosewood that they used.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I got to tell you, I'm extremely jealous of you right this second, because you have a trem guard on that.
Oh, it's on all my guitars have this.
That trem guard, I've been looking for one. Well, for two now, for both my gems, and you can't find them anywhere.
No,
Dave, why would you want that on your guitar?
Because I tend to rest my hand on the trem, so you know, when I'm pick, so it goes, you know, since these are floating bridges, it kind of it's not stable, but that prevents your bridge from going sharp.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. See that? It's really cool.
And that little piece was on all the green gems from 1987, but Kaler had a patent on it. So Ibanez had to stop putting them on.
Yeah, you're gonna hate me. Yeah, I have them on every RG, and I listened to this. I found this guy. He got in touch with me over the internet, and he actually made me one for my 7.
Oh my God!
Wow!
Wow!
Let's see that. Hey, I'm going to present you. Look at that. I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, it's the best invention on the planet.
And this is a really nice guitar too. This is called the Bal 7. This is LA Custom Shop did this for me.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. All your guitars are. You know, you get first prize for that.
The story goes they were doing this guitar, and one of the guys from Korn came in and wanted to steal it from me, and I was like, no, you can't take it.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
When was the last time you actually used that guitar?
I use it on, you know, I have like a 7-string song on each record. Like usually, you know, 1 or 2 songs have the 7-string in it. So I kind of, you know, I use it for that purpose. You know, I kind of write you know, you play differently, you write differently, depending on the instrument.
Yeah.
So I'll use it to come up with different ideas. I don't do anything crazy. I'm not into low tuning. It's tuned from
Standard,
B
right?
to low B.
Yep.
But it definitely gets the, you know, get you playing different.
That's very cool. So you tune standard?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, there's the whole vibe about supposedly like the resonance of E flat or something is supposedly supposed to be more for the. Have you heard that stuff? But
Yeah, you know what? Some guitars actually like E flat better. Like the guitars themselves, they like E flat. But I my ears, I love standard pitch. I just love standard pitch. I don't like E flat.
Yeah, I've always tuned regular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat. You guys have any questions?
I have a statement.
What's the statement?
After all this about string gauge,
Yeah.
I'm switching to 4s.
You're gonna have to tune down like 3 steps, man. Not to snap.
My guitar is gonna like that.
So you're 9 to 54
On this, yeah.
Okay, because I think weren't for a while like the 7 strings coming with like the low B was a 52.
Yeah, I think
And
it's too thin.
You have to like play.
Yeah, I switched to a 54, and depending on like like in recording, sometimes I put a 56 on it because I was doing a lot of the rhythm parts or something. Yeah,
That's what I use. 56. I got the 9 to what? 9, 11, 16, 26, 36, 46, then the 56. It's kind of like light up top, you know, for like leads and solos and stuff, and then heavy down below for the good stuff. But
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love 7s, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you play, right?
Yeah, it's weird. Once I started playing them, it's like when I pick up a 6 string now, it just feels tiny, you know?
Feels like a freaking toy.
Yeah, and like for some reason my hand is like used to the way the nut that sounds weird, but the way the nut feels, like the way it hits that certain area on your finger, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, I can tell you like the way your nuts feel.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got a funny thing to show you guys on these guitars. Everyone that sees it, like they bug out. You know, which one? Let me show you this one. Yeah, this one has the. So when I was getting these guitars done, you know, Ibanez, you know, there's what's called the volute. You know,
I hate that. Can't stand
you hate
it.
the volute?
I hate it.
I love the volutes. So my thing was each of the guitars, as they started doing them for me, the thing got fucking bigger. So I told so when they were building this guitar, because my thinking is, and I think I'm correct in the fact, is that the more mass that you have at the headstock, you have more sustain. So if you can get more mass up there, that's why that thing, you ever see that thing that Satch used to put on? It's like a chrome thing. Yeah. It's just to give more mass to headstock. So I wish I had the sheet. I could show you somewhere, but like on the build sheet, I wrote to, and this was Taft. We brought up Mike Taft before.
Yeah.
I sent it in there, and I would say the volute on the back of the neck, make it so big that I could shove it in my ass. so look at this thing. Look at this thing.
Holy crap!
Whoa! Hey,
Jesus!
Oh my gosh!
That looks like an open mouth.
Hold on! You got to hold that up.
That's
I'm gonna
cool.
take a picture of it and send it to him right now. Okay.
Wow!
Jesus!
All right.
Yeah, I thought this one was big, and it's hardly anything there. It's just not.
Yeah, they made it. You know, it's definitely. So they each have something going on back there.
Wow!
This one has two. This is another cool axe. This is my.
How do you spell volute?
VALUTE.
See, look.
Oh yeah. Is that a pick?
Wow.
Like a thing for your guitar picks behind a headstock?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dunlop makes those.
Uh-oh. Oh no!
Thank God for the rug.
Thank God for the volute.
Yeah, I know.
Well, as long as it hits the face, the strings will protect it.
Yeah, Gibson, the neck would have been broke already.
You darn tootin'.
Stock would have been off.
Man.
Wow, I've never seen a volute that big.
No.
I don't think anybody has.
That's not a volute, that's a clitoris.
Oh, gosh, come on.
Oh,
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, yes, even this one.
Man, that's big too.
I still think the purple one has the big.
Man, how do they get those screws in the back of the nut to fit? Because that volute is so big that the screws probably don't even reach the nut.
I had to go up there. And the other thing that I made them do, which was my idea, is the everyone had the offset dots at the top.
On the top, yeah.
My idea was to put them on the treble side, because the thing is, when you're on stage, right, you already have this to look at, and you're playing, you really don't see because the angle of that you're looking down at the fretboard, you really don't see that fucking dot. Excuse my French. So the thing is, I said, put them on the treble side, and you'd see it more. So when we first thought of it, I remember the guy. This wasn't Mike. Now it was a guy named Rob Nishida when I first had it done. The first one I had it done was that green one, and he was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, just put it on the treble side." And then I just started doing it. I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just put it on the treble side. If I don't like it, I'll have you change it. Don't worry.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not like that. But I mean, yeah, I remember. Listen. I'll tell you a story. When I got that green guitar, that I was like so like excited to get when that guitar was done. Because basically, what I would do is I would do like mock-ups, and I would send them like a printout of the guitar, like in color, how I wanted it, the colors and everything. So this thing came, and you open up the case, and it was like that green guitar. It was like amazing. The first time I looked at it, I was like, holy shit. I said, this thing is beautiful. I take it out, playing it like 15, 20 minutes. And then I noticed that I asked for reverse headstock, and it didn't have it. So I was like, he was waiting for me to call him up. So I called him up, and I was like, I got the guitar. It's great. Beautiful color. And I was, we were talking, and I was like, just by the way, it's supposed to have a reverse headstock. He's like, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, check the paper that I sent to you. He's like, well, and I was like, listen, don't worry about it. I said, we're not going to change it. He said, well, if you ever have a problem with the neck, then we'll do a reverse for you. I said, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't send that guitar back. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an amazing guitar. Man, gee, just staring at it is ridiculous. Maybe I have to have a replica made of that one.
Yeah, Nesdal's been having an Ibanez problem lately.
I do have a problem.
Yeah, and Rob Johnson is gonna like unfriend you over it.
Whatever.
He's like freaking out.
Is he really freaking out?
I you know what? I wouldn't put it past him to actually like be.
I spoke to him today.
Nah,
You don't kid like that. No, it's fine. I just like guitars.
I've always said Ibanez has
the thing. Someone's asking, what's the advantage of the reverse headstock? Ed Dana. I mean, Ed, I don't think there's not really I don't think there's an advantage. The one thing I could tell you is a 7-string on reverse headstock. What happens is originally they came on the reverse headstocks were made big on the Gibson Explorers, I think. So those old guitars, and they had the headstock was bent the other way. Really, what it does is it changes the tension from on the strings. So the thing is, because of the length of the string being longer, the tension is different. Mm-hmm. So when you reverse it, I had Dave Wiener, who plays in Steve Vai's band, used to be endorsed by Ibanez, and he ended up getting reverse 7. See, I didn't get one on my 7th string, and he said that he thought that it affected the tension on the string, and it was too loose. So I think it has to do. I think it affects the tension a little bit, which for me, I'd rather have lighter tension on the higher strings. So I don't know. I think it's kind of might be not that noticeable. Might be more of a look thing. People like the look of the reverse.
Well, I mean, Ibanez has, in my opinion, have the coolest looking headstocks, and the reverse headstock is like, holy crap, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
I want to say the first time I saw a reverse Ibanez headstock, now I could be wrong, but I think it might have been like Dino from Fear Factory had one with the reverse headstock, and I was like, whoa, look at that thing.
Well, wasn't Alex Skolnick's guitar a reverse headstock?
I don't remember. Might have been.
It might have been. He had that weird shape.
Yeah.
That was
I think that was the first one that Ibanez did.
Cool.
Larry's in the chat.
Larry, hey.
Yeah.
Sent him the invite.
Yeah. Larry, you have a couple invites. If you check your text, you can get in through the text I sent you, or I'm not sure how Jay sent it to you.
Shoe Leather Express. It'll be there in a couple days.
Awesome.
I sent it through Facebook Messenger.
Facebook. Sent to the Facebook.
I'm gonna paste the link in the chat room real quick.
Are you getting? You gonna use Elmer's glue? Elmer's paste?
Remember when kids used to eat that stuff, man? The paste.
Yep. Yeah. I used to put my fingers in it, and then when it dried up, I'd take it off like a glove.
Like a glove?
Yes. So, Rob, why don't you tell us about your amps, the amp situation?
Well, I've been endorsed with a company called DD Mark amps for probably like 2 years now. So I'm really digging those. Those you can see it in the back there. Those are the two cabs on each side, and I got a head up there, and that's what's called a multi-amp, which has like a power amp in it, which is most of the time what I'm using live. And I really like it. It's they sound good. It's the cool thing about it is it's built by musicians and guitar players, so they kind of got the sound down that we want to hear. You know what I mean? I was looking around at the time before I hooked up with DV Mark. I was with Cornford Amps, and they kind of went out of business. So I was looking around for a company, and I tried a bunch of amps out, and it's like I'm the kind of guy that like I don't endorse stuff, especially you guys know the industry is like so crazy with people trying to get free gear and stuff. I've never been like that. I've been with Ibanez 28 years. I've been with MULLY 20-something years. DiMarzio, the same thing. Everyone I'm with for years because I play the stuff first, and that's the stuff that I play because I like it. And then if I get an endorsement, hey, it's icing on the cake. If not, I'm like, if I didn't get an endorsement with Ibanez, I'd still be using the guitars. It's just so. I was looking around for an amp company, and I went and tried stuff out, and some of the really great brands, and I was made some offers and stuff, but it just didn't do it for me. And then one NAMM 2 years ago, I went by their booth, and I plugged in, and I really liked it. So then that's who I went with. And I like it also. They're really good because they have a presence here in the U.S. through Guitar Center, and they're distributed overseas, so it's very easy when you're on the road to get amps. They have a presence here in the U.S. As far as distribution, so like if you're traveling around and you need to get amps, because who wants to travel with stuff now? You get it.
Now, is that just a preamp and a power amp with no effects in it, and you just use a pedal board?
It's got effects in it. It's got everything.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Does it have like preamp tubes in it, or is it?
No, it's solid state.
It's
250 watts. It's blazing. It's great.
That's cool.
But I'm still a pedal guy. I still use pedals.
Yeah, we all do.
I like to mix like even in the digital world. I also use Atomic Amps modeling. It's called the AF12, and I always use pedals in front. I like to mix analog with digital. I think it sounds better.
Very cool. Larry's here. We don't hear you, but you're here.
Can you hear me now?
Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can't hear you, though.
You can't hear me?
I can.
I
You
hear
can
him.
hear him? How come I can't hear him?
You're so full of it, Dave.
Swear to God, I cannot hear him.
You can't hear Larry?
No.
Dave couldn't hear any of us before we
No,
started this
I
video.
I can hear everyone but Larry.
Hello, hello, testing
really
1,
weird.
2. Can you
Hey,
hear me?
Larry.
Hi, Johnny.
See?
Yeah. we can hear
No, I don't see because I can't hear. I'm gonna drop out and come back in.
People in the chat here, Larry.
you. Yeah. Does everybody in the chat hear Larry? Ben Coombs says he can hear Larry. Brendan Buttcheeks, we can hear Larry.
BB Ninja can hear Larry.
Mad Dog says Jay is going to get giddy like a schoolgirl. Larry is here.
Yeah.
See, I already met and played with Larry, so now this is like no big deal anymore. You know?
Ready?
Oh, hey, Larry.
Wow. Welcome, Larry.
Thanks. Hey, Rob.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Now I hear Larry.
Thank you.
All right. So we're playing a show together in August.
Yes,
Or- yeah.
August 3rd. It's
Okay.
going to be a lot of fun.
Remember
Now
the
I
name-
only hear Larry.
What?
Now I
Oh
only
my
hear
God,
Larry.
Dave.
Do you remember the name of the club?
It's called The Rail.
The Rail. Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Smithtown. Yeah, Smithtown.
Oh, Dave's not kidding.
No, he's not.
I don't know what's going on over there.
Oh, BB Ninja. Larry, check out Rob's chair.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
It's Zebra.
Rob,
Yeah.
you got to say something. Correct?
Look,
Yeah.
look at that chair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. There's a drum. There's a
Drum throne.
drum seat in the back too. There.
Oh, awesome.
I have a whole wardrobe that goes with that chair.
I told you he'd want to have that chair.
I pull my pants down. I have underwear like that now too, but I won't do that.
Who wears
Might wanna
underwear?
open that.
That's funny, man.
Man. So, Dave, can you hear everybody?
Yeah.
All right.
So what's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Not much here.
Huh? No,
Day by day.
We're just talking about huge volutes and how nobody can compare to Rob's. He has the biggest volute we've ever seen.
Yeah. It's got a pretty large volute.
Oh, Dave, you remember I have that SV that has a crazy volute.
Yeah, I remember. That's the heavy one, the really heavy one, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, wait, Larry. Let me show you.
You can thank Rob for that. That's why the custom shop built those.
Everybody get their volute out and
Yeah, look.
It's all compare volutes.
Yeah. So Tack made that guitar, right?
Yeah, it was those guys.
It's probably Tack who made it. And
Well,
he
no,
makes a
I
volute
asked for it. I asked for it because I was telling them like I think that the more mass you have in the headstock, you get a better tone out of it. So like when I started getting the guitars made, each one I would write, like I remember specifically writing on this one because I think this is the biggest one. I wrote on the thing on the build sheet. I said I want to be able to shove the thing in my ass. So, this is what came down.
and taped to it was a tube of KY jelly.
Oh my gosh.
They might have wanted me to just do it without the lube.
Yeah, I have a couple guitars Tack made for me at the custom shop, and they have the volute basically stops the neck from hitting the hitting the floor.
We saw that. We almost saw that tonight, I think.
Yeah. Well, you can't put that guitar in a case because it won't close because the volute will bring the neck back up.
You can't put that guitar in your ass because.
Oh my goodness.
But you can put it in your vagina.
Oh, come on.
God.
Oh my God.
Johnny,
Larry has a guitar that if I was at his house right now, I'd want to steal. You still have that Ibanez that it's the acoustic nylon string. Do you still have that?
yes, I have two of those actually.
Yeah, those are awesome. Those are nice guitars.
I think there were only 3 made in the world.
No. But nobody lets go of them. You have them, people have them, they keep them.
Yeah. I love your new guitar. It's beautiful. These new nags are awesome.
Yeah, thank you. They're great. I'm very happy with nags.
Yeah.
I did a clinic last night. It was cool. We were talking about the Ibanez too, because there was a guy that was asking me about my first records. We talked about the crazy guitars from back 30 years ago.
That's cool. Where was your clinic at?
It was in La Plata, Maryland. I'm in Virginia right now. I've been in Virginia for like the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, like that. But yeah, it was in La Plata, Maryland. I've never been there before, but it was cool.
Wow.
It's a music store called Island Music Company.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
So do you guys have any funny stories together? Like, oh, Larry, remember this? Or, oh, Rob, remember when this happened?
Well, we did a couple of shows together. I mean, I don't know if there was there's nothing funny about the shows other than probably, where we were playing.
Didn't we do one in Brooklyn or was it Queens?
We did in Brooklyn. We did a place in Queens called Jimmy's Comedy Alley, and they had bands playing there. And it was that place you had a fucking the place going downstairs where we were talking. Larry posted a picture of his rack, and I had the same thing, a 12 space, and I had to carry that thing down the friggin' stairs. That was the worst.
It was not fun.
No.
And then back up the stairs at the end of the night. Yeah.
At that time, it was ridiculous. I was going around with a 12 space shock mounted rack with 2 Marshall 412s. Like, you really need that.
Yeah.
I just posted some photos recently where from the days when Larry Harkey used to bring down 9 to 33 cabinets.
33 cabinets?
Between guitar bass, 33 Harkey cabinets at the Cat Club. So I would have either 6 or 9 412s on my side, and then a few on the other side of the stage, and then there would be bass cabinets.
But it does look cool.
Looks great.
All that, with all that steel, the chrome.
Oh yeah.
And those were the days when the Harkey cabinets were really expensive, and Larry Harkey would bring them down, and I didn't have to, lift anything. And he also had this rule, like you couldn't just have cabinets; they all had to be plugged in. So there was power amps; they all had to be plugged in. They weren't loud. I didn't have them loud, but they just were on.
Man. Man, now you can just play it through your iPhone.
Yeah, basically.
But the iPhones are getting bigger, though. That's the problem.
Some kid's going to be complaining in 30, 40 years, man, I used to carry the iPad around. It was heavy.
Yeah, it'll be a little chip in his wrist. I used to carry.
Yeah. It's so heavy because of all the riffs that are that I've written. Oh man, I invited Taft. I invited Taft because I sent him that picture, Rob, and with the hat with the quote of "Make the volute so big that I can shove it in my ass." He wrote, "Ha ha ha."
Is he
I wrote,
coming
"You should come in with us," and he said, "Maybe." And I sent him the link, and he said he's out right now. He didn't realize we were on live. So.
Can you imagine if he went live in a restaurant and we're talking about shoving volutes up people's ass?
Oh, that's funny.
That's awesome. So let's see what we got in the chat.
While you're checking that out, Larry, after the show tonight, speaking of your first record, I found out who has it.
What do you mean? Who has it?
Like who owns the? Yes.
I own it.
Okay.
It's on, it's on Grudge Records. I remember.
No, who owns the masters?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I found out.
You done found out?
Yeah. I've been wanting to, to see that thing on, because actually somebody messaged me on Instagram today, and this is funny. This is true too. Somebody messaged me on Instagram this morning, with. Speaking of iPhones, mine's slow right now. Somebody named Donald, I'm not going to give their whole name, said suggestions on what Larry Mitchell record to start with. And I said, always start with the first one. 1990 self-titled. I said, it's my top 3 all-time solo guitar record, in my opinion. So he wrote only on YouTube, and I said, unfortunately, for now. So, let's try to get this thing on all the streaming sites,
I did try a long time ago. There was another record company that wanted to buy it, but they didn't want to sell it.
Oh, so you know who has it then?
No, because that guy is definitely no longer alive.
Oh, okay.
A long time ago.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Well, listen, this is just me, Larry, but basically, as long as you have a CD of it, like you could have it put into the digital domain.
Well, yes and no. I own the songs, but whoever pays for the record owns the actual recording.
Okay.
Rights of the record.
Okay.
So I could do that, but and then see if they come after me. But whoever paid for it owns the master owns the.
But like you said, do you think they're even still around?
They are.
No, the guy who owned the label is definitely not, because he was a couple of steps away from the grave back then. So
there was a company that bought all of Grudge's the whole catalog. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I have it in my garage.
Just hard drives full of and real 2-inch tape just to the ceiling.
Yeah, not so much hard drives, semi-hard.
Volute hard.
Yeah.
Johnny, you got a nice collection going on back there. What's the? I don't remember seeing the rack back there.
Oh yeah, I have the doors open. What do you call this? Armoire? Is it?
Nice.
Yeah, it's where I hide. During the day they're all hidden, and I open it up when we're live, and it makes a nice background.
Does it go when you open it? Does it do the? Welcome.
Yes, it does.
Wait, does it do this?
Yes.
And then this.
Hey Jay, the guy Donald who asked you that question this morning is on.
That's so weird. Yep, I just read that. So it was you. Okay.
Hey Donald.
And also, I just want to give a quick shout out for whoever sent me this shirt. Thank you. I got a Winger shirt in the mail today. So, thank you, whoever sent it to me.
Maybe it was Red Beach.
Maybe it was Kip. I told you that story years ago, like back in 2000 and trying to think what year it was. Maybe 2006. When the MySpace days, it was Kip Winger's birthday. So, Winger had, and Kip like, wish Kip Winger, happy birthday. So me and she was my girlfriend at the time, my wife now. We both went on MySpace and virtually at the same time wished Kip a happy birthday. Well, he responded to her, but never responded to me. And I wonder why,
Do I have to tell you?
Yeah. I'm like, I've been a fan since the first album, man.
I don't think he's worried about his fans.
No, I know.
That shirt was probably for her.
If she could fit in this, never mind.
Well, it certainly isn't too small for her.
What?
You make it seem like she's like, you know, obese.
No, I was saying the opposite.
Oh.
I said if she could fit in this, meaning like if it didn't look like a nightgown on her. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. Janice says, did you hear that MySpace lost all of its music?
I did not know.
Yes, I saw that.
Europeans are going to hate that.
Not only music, lost. I think they lost like everything. So if you had from a certain time period, so if you had photos on there and stuff like that, I believe they lost those as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I think years ago, I think they deleted a lot of stuff, and yeah, it sucks.
They tried to come back with that when they did that app. Do you guys remember that? And it was like never worked properly.
That app?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that app sucked.
Yeah.
And I won't even go to MySpace now because I get like the weirdest pop-ups, and you know, it's like you go to the Apple store, you can't even get to the MySpace page. They won't even let you in there.
Didn't Justin Timberlake co-buy MySpace?
Yes.
Try and restart it ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked cool. You know, when they revamped it.
You know what I liked about MySpace? Larry might know this as well, more than I do about any of these social media things, is that unless I'm doing something wrong, but MySpace is really cool because, like, if you, I was on it as an artist to try, reach fans and stuff. So if I was playing like in Florence, Italy, you could like only you were able to search through your list and only send messages to people that were in that location.
Oh, nice.
You can't do that with Facebook.
No,
At least I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing it the right way.
Yeah, they don't want you to be able to do that.
Yeah. So the only way you could do it with Facebook is you got to go through all your fans and then make separate, like, your own lists and stuff like that. Who has the time to do that?
Well, because they want to sell you the ability to do that. So if you have a business page, you can market, you can do your ad all in a certain region.
Right. And MySpace was cool because you were able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, MySpace was the stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
I preferred MySpace way over Facebook, back in would have been 2004, 5?
Yeah. Yeah.
3, 6? Yeah.
Up until like 2006, 2007, it was great.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun.
It was the beginning of relationships ending because of social media.
Pretty crazy.
Remember AOL?
I still have an AOL email address, and I said that to somebody the other day, and they were like, "You have an AOL email address?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" Like, dude. Like,
I do too.
Yeah.
It's been that way forever.
I lost mine years ago when I had to close my AOL account. Like they take it and you can't, like my name at AOL, it's gone.
So let's get back to guitars here, Rob.
Please.
If you have a great, I guess, tip, like what would you say for somebody maybe not just starting out, but like what's one thing you would stress to somebody that like is a guitar player that wants to improve on whatever? Like, I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, it does. What I'd like to get out there to people is that, and I'm sure I maybe I'm speaking, I don't want to speak for Larry, but I think Larry is going to agree with me, is that there is so much stuff that you see like on as far as on social media now with like guitar players. And I mean, listen, it's great that people can play fast, and Instagram is full of guitar players going on there just like playing useless stuff. And the thing is, concentrate on speed is not of course you need to have technical ability, but I would say concentrate on writing a song and not worry too much about keeping up with that kind of stuff, because to me it's trend orientated, and that's the trend right now. But the thing is, songwriting is never a trend. Songwriting is where it's at. People, my main goal is to write something that someone's going to be able to hum back
and remember.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I think people should do is no matter what instrument you are, writing a song and writing your own music and starting, because the thing is, I'm sure there's some people that just go and write a song and it's like amazing, but the thing is, you need to write songs and get some sort of process down, and the only way you're going to get that is to start. So to start doing that as early as possible.
And often, you got to write all the time.
Yeah.
Get at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the wow stuff, and you were right. Instagram is just flooded now, and those are the ones. Maybe it's a trend. I hope. These super fast things. But I was listening to Queensryche yesterday, and the song "Anybody Listening." It's one of my favorite all-time songs. And the first handful of notes in that solo, I get goosebumps every time. And there's nothing fast about it. It's just, the chord underneath, and then the DeGarmo comes in, and it's just like, stuff that does that to you, and it doesn't have to be flashy. It's just certain notes over certain chords, and it just, that's more important to me. And the flashy stuff is great thrown in, sprinkle it in, have it here and there. Right. But yeah, you're right. It's more about melody, and that's what people should pay more attention to.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys seen that video on Facebook? I've seen it on Instagram a couple of times too, where there's this guy sitting in a room just kind of like this, and he's playing extremely fast, but not in any key.
Yeah, I know that.
When you have mad chops with no theory, no music background.
Yeah, I saw that one. And if you're listening, whoever that is,
we're not talking about you.
There's some tips, Yeah, it's all about just what sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I think is important is you could be the best player, and you could be amazing and stuff, but if your tone sucks, no one's going to want to listen to you. I think tone is a really big thing as well. Is getting, it's got to be something that's pleasing to the ear. I mean, how many shows? I go to, I'm not going to mention people. I go to shows and like I can't even stay in the friggin' room because everything is so loud, or it's too friggin' trebly. You have to be able to listen to the stuff. I mean, how
many times have you said, what would happen if I went up on stage right now and turned the treble down and the mids up?
Yeah. I mean, I think tone is a big thing, and I mean, really worrying about how you sound, and like again, not to get on the thing, but like the speed thing, everybody's worried about speed. But if there's guys that play tremendously fast, but when they go to bend a note, they have no vibrato. I mean, that's the other thing. Vibrato is something that I think guitar players should work on as well. It's very important. It's what separates everyone. Larry has a totally different vibrato than I do. So do you, David. So anybody else that plays. And I think it's what separates you. And if you can't bend in friggin' tune, don't friggin' play.
It's like speaking, actually. It's your voice. Your vibrato is very much your voice.
Yeah,
I agree. I have a question for you, Rob, and then I'm going to get Broken Chains wants to ask a question first. So his question is for Rob. In the early days, did you have a singer in your band, or were you always a solo artist?
I started playing out really young. So like I was in a band when I was 14, and we had some singers, and I was doing covers and stuff like that. I went through a couple of experiences that weren't the best. So basically me going instrumental was not wanting to deal with a singer, and also at that time things that I was listening to, I have 3 older sisters, so I got turned on to like I remember the Wired record, which was the instrumental record, which is still one of my favorites and stuff like that. And that was the time where like stuff was starting to explode. Like to me, Satriani was one of the first ones that kind of, after Jeff Beck actually, that kind of brought instrumental music into guitar instrumental music onto the radio. So, you know, once hearing that, you know, it was probably around like 1991, 92, where I said, you know what, I'm just gonna write my own songs and do an instrumental. And then from then until now, it's kind of what I'm doing. It's not like, listen, I would love to play, you know, if I could find a singer that could sing and not scream, I would work with somebody now too. You know what I mean? But you have to have an attitude. You can't be on drugs. It's a lot of, there's a big list of requirements, and it's hard to find.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I started out the same way, Rob. In 1989, I was trying to put together a band, and we went through 40 plus singers trying to find someone that either they could sing, but they had a drug problem, or they had a drinking problem, or they couldn't sing and they were okay, or they just had a really bad attitude. And I just got tired. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go play these songs without a singer. And if someone comes along, then fine. And that's how I got started doing the instrumental thing. But I am working on a new project with a singer out of San Diego. And she is, I gotta say, badass. So hopefully sometime in the next 3-4 months, I have a lot of traveling to do, but hopefully we can get it out within the next 3-4 months.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Well, what you guys talk about, I mean, the whole singer thing and then saying, screw it, I'm just going to do a solo record or become a solo artist. Being able to have like songs that with basically the guitar doing the vocals. I mean, it's melody and that, like you guys talked about, I mean, that's a huge thing is the melody. If you're not going to have a singer, it's got to have melody, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's important. You know, it's kind of that when I'm writing, that's kind of what I you know, I kind of think of it like if I was writing a song with a singer. So there's a verse, there's a chorus, there's a, you know, whatever. So, you know, and it's always something that, you know, you try and you gotta play something so that I want people to listen to it and be able to hum it after it's played. You know, the melody and stuff like that. So if I can accomplish that, then you know, I did what I need to do, you know. And also, you know, you got to write. You know, I write for my, you know, it's. I don't know if it sounds like stupid or anything, but like I write for myself. I like my own music. The thing is, if you don't like your own music, how can you expect anybody else to like it? So you have to like what you do, and then it goes from there. I mean, if I you know, listen, I'm in an instrumental guitar thing where, you know, this is not what's in fashion today. But I'm doing it because I like it. Yeah. And the thing is, that's why. And I'm fortunate. People, you know, if I could get some people to like it, that's great. But it's not going to like ruin my day. I mean, I like what I'm doing. And
that's exactly it. Because I mean, it's a very small niche to begin with.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that go out to listen to instrumental music these days.
Well, you know,
unless you're a musician. If you're a musician.
Well, yeah. But you know what it is? The problem with today is people not going out listening to music in general.
At all. Yeah.
It's the problem.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, New York, come on, I'm in New York. You know how many clubs, friggin' BB King's closed. You know, I mean, come on. There's so many of the small, like, for artists that are at a certain level, that are not famous, they're not just starting out, like these intermediate clubs now, like BB King's and stuff like that, where you can get really good acts. Someone like you know, really big acts. I could play there, whatever. Those are disappearing now. So now you're either in some like really crappy joint, or it's a huge place. So it's really a bad scene in New York, and I think it's happening. You see like all these nice clubs, all these clubs closing. It's horrible.
It is terrible, and it's just getting worse.
Well, there's some commercial going now with like, I forget what company it's for, but basically it's like, it's just like the vocal track of a song, of a pop song that, you know, in my opinion sucks. But I was thinking, I think it was like yesterday or the day before, it came on like on YouTube or something, you know, ads come up, And I'm like, how much cooler would it be to have it like a guitar player playing, and instead of just, you know, because everything now is just like vocals and, you know, pop stars and all this crap.
Yeah.
And I mean, how much cooler would it be to have a guitar player playing there instead of that?
Yeah.
But it's my opinion, which obviously doesn't weigh much.
Yeah, but people talk.
But it means a
solos.
lot.
People talk during the guitar solos. I said people talk during the guitar solos.
Yeah, and how rude is that?
Yeah.
How dare you play a guitar solo while I talk? Rob, my question for you, Rob, was what inspires you to write a song? Like, what are some of the inspiration behind your songs?
Well, I developed a process that I try and get, like, you know, when I'm teaching people to try and get them to try and do something like it. And basically I either try and have an inspiration. So I have to have an inspiration first. So it's so that can either come from something that's happening in my life. It can come from a movie that I saw. It can come from a book that I read. It can come from my cat. I mean, I wrote there's a song on my last record called Magic Cat. It was written about my cat. I had him for 22 years. And, you know,
that's a long time.
Yeah, and he passed away. He actually made it through a bunch of my records, and that was like the last record, and he ended up passing away. But I mean, I need to find an inspiration first, and then I kind of like hone in and try and write something that reminds me of whatever I'm like focusing on. So I'll either come up with a melody, and then I'll write the chords to the melody, or I'll come up with some sort of little progression, and then I end up writing a melody to that. And that's how it starts. And, you know, sometimes it's an easy process where, hey, it's like, you know, it's like weird. It comes out and you have the song written. And other times, you know, like I said, I use that music memo app on the iPhone, and I write a little something and it records it, and then I'll go back to it, and then maybe like I hit it where I can't get any more, then I can go back to it like 6 months later and then have something and add to it, you know. And each of my records, like back to when I started, like I had 4-track stuff that I did that made it to this last record, like a part that I couldn't finish, and I had the title and everything. And then you go back to it, and then somehow I could finish it. And that's kind of how I do it. I mean, each song, and it's not like, you know, I always get mad. You see these popular artists like U2 or somebody like that, and they say, yeah, we went into the studio and we had 38 tracks to pick from. We picked the best 12. I'm like struggling over getting the 12 that I want really good. But I think that's good because I feel that there's no like filler tracks.
Yeah, no filler. Yep. All killer, no filler.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I do.
Well, I have a question, unless somebody has a follow-up for that, but I have a question for both Rob and Larry. No follow-up? Okay. When you guys write your solos, like your solos or whatever, are you a hear it in my head and then try to get it to the fretboard writer with the solo stuff? Or are you kind of like, you just sit there and kind of loop the part and kind of noodle around and figure out what you want to do?
I'll go first. It's depending on what it is. I have a serious problem with all my records where like I kind of like, especially now with Pro Tools, where I'll sit there and I'll put the stuff on, and I kind of like not having planned out stuff, and I kind of like just feel it, and I take a take, then I'll take another take, and then I'll go back and I'll listen to them, and I'll like this part, and then I'll put it in, and I'll listen to this part. And some takes is a full take, but I kind of like to take like the first thing that I'm feeling and then use it like that instead of figuring out what I'm doing, which is great, I think, because it's spontaneous. What happens later is, though, like I have to go back. Like this record is going to be the worst because it's taken me such a long time to write because of like personal things that happened. So now I'm back on track, and I'm not going to remember that half of the solos. I'm going to have to go and relearn my fucking shit. So, but I think getting spontaneous stuff is probably the best way to do it.
I usually just once the song, I'll do a scratch solo early on, and then when I have the song more together, I tend to get up and play the whole song the whole record top to bottom, or as many songs as I have top to bottom. I usually will mute most of the other guitar tracks and just kind of play it like as if I'm playing live. And because over the years for me, a lot of times I'll come up with solos, and then I'll go play the song live a bunch, and after a tour I come back and go, why did I do that? You know, I approach the solo totally different. So I tend to like take like the last 2 weeks of the record time, and I do this on all the records that I produce as well. And I try and get the singers that I'm working with when I produce a singer-songwriter to take the last 2 weeks and just sing it get out of your head. I try and get out of my head, try to get them to get out of their head of like what's right or what's wrong. Just play it, live it, experience it. And then I'll record it. And then I'll go back and pick through what worked and stuff like that. But usually if I do that for 2 weeks, by the middle of the second week, everything starts to feel good. I want it to just feel good. That's my approach. Nice. I don't sit down and write out solos, anymore. I can't do that.
I remember being in the studio with you for Mind, Body, and Soul, and I like it was yesterday. I remember that you doing all that.
That was 26 years ago.
You were in the studio with Larry during that?
Yeah.
I remember going to Strawberries, or was it Coconuts by then by the Newburgh Mall? No, it might have been the Wall in the Newburgh Mall that I bought that record. I'm trying to think which one it was. And I was pumped.
Yeah, I remember that was Mitch's
Mind, Body, Soul.
Yep.
Yeah, Mitch and Peter Cooper-Schmidt.
Yeah.
That's their studio.
That was a great time. What a great time especially sitting in the control room watching him play, do all the guitar parts to that record. It was incredible.
It was fun, as opposed to the first record where I had to do the solos while they were mixing.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that record sounds great too. I mean, it's really you wouldn't know that there was, not that that's a problem, but you wouldn't know that there was any type of hassle at all, because that record flows great.
Yeah, well, thank you. But again, remember, they always say that you have your whole life to make your first record and then a short amount of time to make the second one. All those solos have been worked out live for at least 2 years. The gist of the solos from me playing in clubs, for about 2 years. So I had to, I had alternates, and I had, just divide new record, what I wanted to continue playing and what I wanted to, where I wanted to completely improvise. Because I've been playing those songs for at least 2 years before we actually went in and record the record. So that's where I'm trying to get back at, what I try to do now, which is just play and play and play and play, and then feel out what really works, stuff like that. But I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Jay?
No, I was going to say, when was the last time you guys have actually listened to your first records? Like sat down and listened, not like just heard it on like mix or something, or just actually like put it on and like listen to it.
I listened to it when you asked me what was that lick in Political Rain.
I started to break it down myself because I never got a video of it.
I don't know. In fact, if anybody's out there wants that does real transcriptions, please let me know, because we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of the first record, and I'm working on a couple of things for next year. And people keep asking for transcriptions and things, and that I don't think they realize that I don't read or write music, so like actually write it down. So I need someone to do transcriptions.
Larry, you should try and check out this company. Speaking about that, I have not my first record, but it's the Color of Light record, which Jay, you were talking about before. That's going to be coming out probably. I have really no transcriptions released of my stuff either, just some stuff that I have up on my website that I had somebody do. I read music and stuff, but I'm not really someone that can go sit and write stuff out. So there's this company, Larry, called Sheet Happens. The guy's name is Luke. They're from Canada, and they're going to release this, and I mean it's a really good deal. Talk to them. They do the transcripts. They did an incredible job. They did the transcriptions. Each one they sent to me, you know, and I checked it. It's done in tab, and it's done and they do it where you could you see it on the screen.
Guitar Pro, right?
Yeah, Guitar Pro, and I mean they did a really good job. I mean, they did the whole thing. I sent the pictures, and the book's coming out in April, so definitely check it out. There's a lot of artists going through there.
Oh, I will definitely. And his name is Luke?
His name is Luke. Yeah, the guy's name is Luke, and the company's. If you look at them up on the web, it's called Sheet Happens.
Okay.
I'll get you the information and I'll send it to you.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, they're really cool guys. You know, if you go on there, there's a lot of, you know, they have a lot of a lot of current bands. They have some guitar players that you would know. I knew them, and they're really good guys to work with. They seemed really nice. So definitely check it out.
So basically, what they would do is they would listen, they would transcribe everything, and then send it to you to have you kind of edit it and just
I went through each thing, and maybe, you know, the weird thing on the guitar is I wanted to be I wanted it to be as much as it was to where I played it. And the thing is, I told you before, some of the stuff is I developed it after playing live, and I don't play it the same way because the recording was spontaneous.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I had to go back and listen to it and then see where. So if you're playing the B, you know, a B note could be played on the G string. It could also be played on the B string, and depending on where you play it, it's going to feel different. It's going to work differently. So I was able to go through it and say maybe he had something on a set of strings that I know I didn't play it on. So I would go through it and say, no, can you switch it to here? And I mean, they made corrections, and they were very fast, very, very accurate on the stuff. It's really, really good.
Okay.
Wow.
I just tried to go to sheethappens.com and it didn't come up.
It might be here. I'll tell you right now. It could be
Something else came up.
Could be something like org. Let me see.
By the way, just to break the monotony, this video brought to you by Entenmann's Donuts.
Those are delicious. If you dunk those in milk, they're even better.
I don't have any milk.
Oh. Desiree.
That's too
I
much.
don't have any milk. Where's the meatloaf?
You know what?
Oh my goodness.
Larry, you know why I forgot the most important thing of it. It's sheethappenspublishing.com.
Okay.
That's why.
Well, Larry, if you think my wife thinks that I don't do enough around the house now, if your album gets transcribed, nothing, and I mean nothing's gonna get done. I'm just gonna disappear up in this room.
Oh, look, Bellini has them here. Cool. Very nice. I'm excited. I'm looking at the website. Sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow. So they put the book out, or they send it to you after it's sell?
They
on the line here.
You know, basically in a nutshell, they do the transcription. They put the book out. It's you can either get it digitally or physically. You split with them. You know, it's pretty basic. You know, they I think it's since they're doing all the work, I think it's basically like a 50-50 thing. And the thing is, they just get there. They need to sell the books to get the money to pay back what it costs to do the work, and then it's split.
Okay.
So since they're doing everything, to me it was a fair deal. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with guitar stuff, instrumental, and trying to pick up all those nuances. It's pretty crazy.
Cool. This is great. Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, they're nice guys. Tell them I'll tell you right now. The guy's name is. I'll give you his last name, and I'll send you his emails. It's Luke. Last name is Hoskin. Hoskin.
Okay.
And tell him I sent you.
So we have 93 people watching us right now. 40 thumbs up.
Nice.
If you like what you're seeing and you're digging Larry and Rob, give us some thumbs up. Let us know. Let us know that you like it.
Send us donuts.
Well, that donut was great. I had them here for you, Larry, but since you didn't show up, I ate them.
I can't eat them. I can't eat them.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Then forget it.
But people can send donuts and super chats, right?
Yeah. Man.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
that website sounds cool. I'm excited to check that website out when we're done.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Shauna Marie Singh says she needs to go out and get some Entenmann's donuts now. Thanks a lot, David. Oh,
Well, wait till after the show.
It was wonderful. Let me tell you. But don't get the chocolate on the inside. Get the I guess it's the
Regular, I guess.
yes, the regular inside. It's softer.
The yellow inside.
Yellow,
I
yes,
vouch for that because those are the best.
They're good.
She can order through Uber Eats.
That's right. And maybe you can get Guy Fieri to bring them to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We talk about food on here as well, Rob.
I told Rob. I said we can talk about everything
I'm a big foodie.
food to Star Wars, Star Trek, all kinds of stuff.
Ron Limber says, "Answer one of my questions."
Damn it!
That's not a question.
Yeah.
Somebody keeps asking the same question over and over.
Well, come on,
Soda pop.
I was just going to say, Ron Limber, if you want us to answer one of your questions, why don't you put it in a super chat?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he asks Larry, "Have you ever seen Kiss?"
Yes.
There you go. There's your there's the answer to your question.
And before you ask me, yes, I've seen them too.
I've never seen them though.
Hey Jay.
Yes.
Whitman, the guy. Are you a Kiss fan?
You know, I've never been until about a year ago, and I like the era of Kiss that nobody else seems to like that, the non-makeup era, I guess, or the almost non-makeup era.
All right. Dave Whitman, who produced and engineered my first record, who also engineered. He was known as an engineer. He was Eddie Kramer's assistant for a while, I believe, and then at Electric Lady, he engineered Eric Clapton's Journeyman record. He engineered he mixed and engineered that Rebel Yell, the Billy Idol record.
Oh yeah.
But he did the Kiss 4-track that got the record deal, and he did, I believe, the first 3 or the first 4 Kiss records engineering. It makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, so there was lots of talk of Kiss making a record.
Awesome.
Man, I bet he's still getting those checks.
Nobody's getting checks. It's business.
Well, the bands don't get them as much as the people behind them, you know.
Nobody getting checks in music business. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what isn't the Metallica Black Album? What are they still selling, like 5,000 a week or something? I remember there was an interview with Lars like last year. He's like, "Who the hell keeps buying these?" I mean, you know, nobody.
What, are they not
has it already?
Are they not on iTunes?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
but that they still sell 5,000 copies a week of the Black Album. It's still like top 10.
You should be happy instead of complaining.
Well, I doubt he's complaining.
but who listens to cassettes or CDs anymore?
I listen to CDs.
I still listen to CDs, and I listen to vinyl now too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, vinyl's back. Vinyl's definitely back. I heard cassettes are coming back.
Why?
8 tracks.
Was it only fast forward on the 8-track? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
If you wanted to hear the song again, you had to fast forward the rest of it and then start from the beginning.
See, the weird thing about, I'm listening to vinyl, but I'm listening to I actually have my old vinyl records. The problem with today is that if you record a record digitally and then all of a sudden put it on vinyl, it's not really going to sound the same. The whole idea is to record it analog,
yep.
And there's a certain process it goes through. So people that are releasing stuff from digital and then making a vinyl because it's in now, it's really defeats the purpose of vinyl.
Well, I guess the only, I know when I bounce stuff that has to go digital and vinyl, vinyl you get to do 24/48, and digital is still like 16. So it's, but then again, I mean, whose ears are really hearing the difference between if you were to bounce those both like on a digital file of both,
right?
People aren't going to really.
I'm sure there's some crazy people that'll hear it.
Like Eric Johnson.
Yeah.
Eric Johnson be able to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Rob, David Ennis in the chat says he's your first sub.
He's my first.
Yeah, he subscribed to you.
Oh.
I guess the first one in the chat to subscribe to you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, nice. Who keep
Shauna, you listen to zero digital music? But CDs are digital. I don't understand.
Yeah.
She probably means like online, maybe.
Oh, streaming.
Like streaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so easy now, man. It's I got a Bluetooth speaker in the kitchen, and some of you already heard my story about that. One in the bedroom, one in my 2-year-old daughter's room, and music's always on. It's just so convenient,
Are you like Malmsteen, where you have a different one of your songs in each room playing at all times?
No. If my 2-year-old daughter heard my music, she probably would be like, no, don't put this on. Todd, aka Soda Pop, keeps asking about your Van Halen story, Rob.
AKA Soda Pop. He's about my, so that's probably the story that I told you guys before.
Well, we got to hear it again.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so
Bless you, Larry.
I was fortunate enough to meet Eddie Van Halen and Alex Lifeson on there. Alex Van Halen. I'm thinking Rush in my head. On the Balance tour, it was at Jones Beach in Long Island, New York.
I was there.
Yeah, and it just so happens that I have a record. My first record was called Balance. So I knew in advance that I was going to meet them. A buddy of mine was stage manager in the thing, so I was all excited. And I had a couple of my records with me, and we went in. And I wasn't sure. He said he was going to try, so I was like hanging out in this area. It was like, I think it was actually one of the first times that I was like backstage at a concert, and I had like this all access pass. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I was in this thing. There was free beers. I was eating some food, drinking, and he comes. His name was Bob Dates, and he came over to me and he said, "Rob, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm not doing nothing." He says, "Come with me." So I went with him, and he goes in, knocks on the door, and it's Eddie and Alex's dressing room, and they're sitting in there like playing. And it was like 10 minutes before they went on, and he goes, like to introduce you to my good friend of mine, Eddie. He's a guitar player. His name is Rob Balducci. And I was like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" Of course I was nervous. I was like a big fan, and they were like, they were very nice, very, very nice. They said hello and everything. And I was like, "Hey, Eddie, do you mind if I give you a copy of my CD?" So I gave him my CD, and he looked at it and he was like, "Balance." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Listen, I had it first. I had the name first. This came out before yours." So they all started laughing. We were talking, and like Alex took a look at it, and he was like, "Wow," he said, "even the font on the the balance thing is similar. He says, man, we must be on the same wavelength, you and I. And I was like, yeah. I said, I guess so. It's very cool. So he's like, all right, we got to go. So I was leaving. And then as I was leaving out the door, Alex said, hey, Rob, what am I fucking wood? I don't get a copy. So I reached back into my bag. I gave him a copy. And then we walked out, and with the door closed, I hear him screaming. He must have looked at the CD, and he was like, get a fucking singer. I should have listened to him.
That's awesome. Great story.
But there's a lot of stories about Eddie from people, and some of them are negative stories. I don't know. They were both very, very nice.
He was always nice to me. I met him 3 different times. I hung out with him for a long time, one time. And he was nice, the nicest guy. But I hear he's hard to work for.
Yeah.
But he was always super nice to me.
Very cool. I wish like I was telling you guys before, I wish I would have been around now. I would have had a picture with him and stuff.
Yeah, no cameras back then. No camera phones.
What year was that?
95.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no cell phones. No. Well, no camera. Yeah, no camera cell phones, I guess.
Yeah.
No 15.
Picture with your beeper.
I think there were just 2 types of phones. There was the Motorola flip phone and then the Nokia phone back then.
Yeah, and now some of these bands are looking. They're asking fans, "Hey, do you have any footage? Any bootleg footage of concerts back from the It's like, man,
Mm-hmm. I think about all the times in the Billy Squier tour where they confiscated people's cameras, and I'm going, I would really like to see some of that footage.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody just pulls up their phone and goes Facebook Live. So
yeah, well, was there any real footage of that tour, Larry?
yeah, we shot some, but Billy has control over it, and it's not released. And there was a guy that worked at Gibson, Philip. He worked with Dion. He sent me a CD, bootleg DVD rather, that someone had made, and it was kind of from far away and stuff like that. But you can see it, you can hear it. But I have no idea where that CD is now, that DVD is now. So I have to either get in touch with Philip again or look through every hard drive I own, which is not an easy task. So yeah, I would like to find it. I would like to find some of that footage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, memories.
Wow.
There are some bands that don't like you taping them. Like you guys heard the Peter Frampton story, right? Where he took the he took the phone and threw it and all that crazy stuff.
Well, remember that episode of What's Happening with the Doobie Brothers?
Yeah. With your phone, anyone over 70.
What was that?
What?
We lost you for a sec, Larry.
Hello? Hello?
We hear you now.
You might not be able to hear us.
Who?
You. We hear you now, Larry.
I'm here.
I think Larry said
we didn't hear what you had said.
He said that anyone could film him and me. Is that what you said?
I said you probably shouldn't film anyone over 70. They're not used to it.
I don't mind people shooting pictures of anything really, whatever they want to do.
No, but doesn't that have to feel weird? I mean, a lot of these bands, they're used to the candles. Jesus Christ, yeah, a concert from the 1800s. They're holding candles. Like the lighters and everything. Get your lighters out. The ballad comes on, the lighter, and now it's like the whole time. There's people right in the front row. You get somebody filming a little farther back, and you see like 10 camera phones out filming the guy in the front singing. It's got to feel strange.
Well, it means you need to be on.
I think it puts more pressure
Yeah.
pressure on you, because who knows what they're streaming to and how many people are watching that, and it's being saved and captured.
But basically every concert is now like a Grateful Dead concert.
Yep.
So you just have to be on.
Well, that's the whole point of doing a live show. You got to bring your A game every time, even if you're exhausted. If, God forbid, you had a tragedy. If you're going to be on that stage, it's a snapshot of you have to be on.
Or this, Dave. It's the same thing.
Yeah, fuck off.
All the same.
But the thing is, I'm sure. Listen, everyone has an off performance. I mean, what are you going to do? But I mean, it doesn't mean that you're not giving it your all. Sometimes you just fuck up. What are you going to do?
That's true. That's very true.
And every concert has moments. Not all concerts are great from the the first beat to the last beat. So there are moments. And usually, most people don't videotape the entire concert. They hear a moment and everyone can feel it, and everybody takes the camera out at the same time. So,
yeah. By the way, Johnny, as far as having your A game on this show, if you were paying me, I'd be whistling Dixie out my ass every night.
Well, good thing you're not paying them.
I'd have a smile on from sea to shining sea.
So speaking of the whole video smartphoning, all the shows, do you guys feel, and everybody in the chat as well, do you guys feel that almost deters you from going to shows nowadays because, oh, this band's coming to town next month? You can go on YouTube and watch 15 different camera angles of their show.
It's not the same.
I know it's not the same, but
if there's someone that I'm like a band that I'm excited about, and I see something on YouTube or somebody on Facebook and they post it, I'll watch it, but that's not going to deter me. I like going and there's something about being at a show and being in the audience, and maybe I'm old school. I like to go to shows.
Yeah, actually, when I see stuff posted on Facebook or YouTube from earlier concert, that inspires me to like, oh yeah, I definitely want to go. If I'm on the fence about going to see a live concert, if I have the time, then I see a video that looks good, I'll go, because you can't get the entire experience from watching it on YouTube, even if it's a full high res video with super sound. Not the same.
Oh yeah, the experience is totally different if you're actually there.
Yeah, so it's not going to deter me from going. It's gonna, if it's good, it's gonna make me want to go.
Boner Jam says, I love looking up the set list.
Yeah, that's cool.
See, I love going to show, like, oh shit, they're playing this song. Hell yeah! I want to be surprised when they pull out the deep cuts.
Yeah, I know. It's like, we said, speaking of Star Wars, I never want to know anything. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I never want to know anything before I go to see the movie.
Well, that's a movie. You don't want a spoiler for a movie. It's a little different, right?
Well, it's all spoilers,
Okay, Han Solo's coming back. Sorry.
Well, where'd he go? No.
Janice said something funny. She says she doesn't even do her own music hardly anymore because of watching YouTube. It's the same thing. I come up here late at night to play guitar or mix or something, and next thing you know, I'm on YouTube and I'm like, I got to get crap done, man. It's so easy to get distracted nowadays with technology.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So how do you guys avoid that, Rob and Larry? How do you avoid, you guys are, doing all this stuff and putting out albums and playing. How do you avoid just detaching yourself for whatever period of time you're working on stuff?
Well, that's the thing. You set a schedule. You set a schedule. With creativity, sometimes it's hard. But like, for instance, today I was like, I had a couple of things I'm playing on. For those of you that are anyone in Pennsylvania, I'm playing the Sellersville Theater on Monday with Jakey Lee, which should be a cool show.
Oh, awesome.
So I was getting my rig together for that and going through my pedal board, and then I set a time for that. And then I said, I am going to go in and try and do some recording. So I blocked a 2.5 hours out for that. So the thing is, you try, like, I'll try and attempt to go and see if I can get something, but at least it's trying to go. And then when I'm doing that, I don't keep my phone on. I'm not going to, you got to stay focused. So I think it's important to set like a schedule you know, even with practicing and stuff like that, trying to set time schedule to practice. And you know, it doesn't even have to be like a long period. If you could do a focused practice of 20 minutes a day, you know, because everyone has a life. Everyone thinks everyone's practicing 10-hour workouts and playing. I mean, you set a focused period of time to practice. That's going to get you more than just sitting around noodling for 2 hours if you a focused practice. So setting a schedule, I think.
Yeah, well, the key word is it's work. This is what we do for a living. So you have to, you can't get distracted or you ain't going to eat. You know what I mean? So you just got to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing now is like with, you know, like I also teach and stuff to make money. So like, you know, if I might be teaching at certain part of the day, and I was talking to Dave when we were doing a test for this. You know, there's I'm using this thing from Two Notes Torpedo Studio, where, you know, I could use any of the heads that I have in here, and I could record at 3 a.m. I could use the amplifier thing and go direct, and it doesn't have to be loud. And you know, so you could record, you know, you find the time. If it has to be 2 o'clock in the morning, then it's going to be 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. But now it's easier to do those things at late night. You can still record now, which is great.
Yeah, that's the best thing about, you know, like the fractal audio stuff and all that style of amplifiers. You know, it's just, it allows you, it frees up the night hours, you know, and you're not killing anyone. Just it's great. It's great.
Yeah, especially with a 2-year-old downstairs. I mean, I can, you know, I'll record DI and have, like, you know, have it going into the Kemper or something, or just a plug-in, and you know, record some stuff, and then the next day I can reamp, you know, with a full blasting amplifier up here. So yeah, it's cool. You know, technology nowadays is great with the freedom to be able to do certain things.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
You should check out the Universal Audio Aux. My friend James Santiago helped design that, and it lets you use your tube amps, but basically turn them down. It's
really?
It's almost like the old school, I guess the Power Soaks, but it's a reactive load. That's the latest thing, is like the reactive load. So it's way more like a cabinet.
Oh, it's cool.
You can turn it on, plug in headphones if you want. You can take and actually some of the ones like the Boss or Roland one has a power amp built in, so you can actually take a small amp and make it louder by plugging it into a 412 cabinet. Or you can turn everything down. But it's a bit to work with tube amps.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that, because even this is too loud, and that's not loud. It's just too loud for, you know.
Yeah, Larry. Larry, the aux thing is similar to what I was talking about. The Two Notes Audio does the Torpedo Studio. That's what I was using. So you could use heads. It's got a power amp built in. So like I still have Triaxis, and I have a Bogner preamp. So you could still use those preamps and use the power amp that they have in the unit. It's great.
Cool.
And I saw the Boss one at NAMM. The Boss one looks really cool too, right?
Yeah, I tried that at the G4 Experience. They had me come up and check it out, and it was
like
great.
Yeah,
it has a built-in power amp, and you could take a small tube amp and plug it into a 412 cabinet and make it. So you take a 15 watt tube amp and make it 100 watts if you want. If you want to go louder, or you can take an amp and go down to headphone level if you want, or small 5 watts, something like that.
That's crazy.
It's cool. Hey guys, I hate to be the old man, but I'm the old man, and it's
well, we should all be old men, actually.
Yeah, it's about that time.
It's
I'm having a lot of fun. This is.
Yeah, me too. I don't want it to stop either, but we can do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do the real show now.
Mm-hmm. We'll start at 10 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
Well, Larry, thanks for joining us.
Sure.
It's always a great time, and it's great seeing you and talking to you.
Yeah.
And when are you coming? When are you coming by?
I don't know. Right now, the next time I'm in there is when I'm doing the Vi Academy 5.0, and then we have that show with Rob.
Oh yes, that's August.
So maybe we should do the show like that week, Rob. Maybe we should do it the week or the week before.
Sure.
If you get, I'm booking the show right.
No, that's fine. In fact, I'd rather do it that way. Yeah, I like doing that. I like having something on the books already. That's great.
Johnny, Ray.
Mm-hmm. Ray.
Jay.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll see you, in person that week. So at some point, definitely not during the day, but maybe I'll stop by the hotel at night after you, because I think Mark Cimino is also going to go at night to see Devin and Steve. So I'm sure I can get in and say hello to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I run the jams at night, so it's I'll be usually in some subterranean basement running jams, making it funky as possible. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
cool.
guys.
Well, let me know if you need anything. I got plenty of stuff here. If there's anything you might need.
All right.
He can't have donuts. Don't you remember? Didn't you hear him say it before? He can't have donuts.
Still got them.
Even if he could have them, they'll still be gone.
I had donuts for you.
Hey, Rob, thanks a lot for the sheet music.
Oh, no problem. Let me know what happens, and I'll send you I'll text you his email tonight.
All right, guys.
Good night, Larry.
See you later, Larry.
Bye, Larry.
Boy, now that he's gone, we can really start this.
Man, it's always cool having Larry on.
Larry's awesome, man.
Yeah. And Rob, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks a lot.
I'm sorry it took 25 years to actually reach out to you.
All right.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other in at least it's been 25 or 26 years since we've seen each other. And
probably the spit days.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. Crazy. And he was amazing. He was an amazing guitar player back then. And he's just gotten better and better, and with cooler and cooler gear, and he's as nice can be. This guy is one of the nicest guys. Unbelievable. What a great person.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that today. how nice you are.
Oh, thank you.
How much fun. Yeah. Yeah, I was really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a lot of fun. Cool talk.
Yeah, it's a down to earth. It's low key, and and we got a lot of stuff out of the way. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got to have you over my place, man. You're in Queens. I'm here in Nassau. I got to have you over. You got to stop by.
Sure. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Soda Pop, what guitar is behind me?
That's a Kramer.
Yeah. It's actually right now. It's just a parts. It's a parts Kramer. That's my first. Actually, the body. That's from my first real guitar. It's a Focus 1000.
Wow.
And then the neck is an old Kramer Pacer neck.
And then what pickup is in there? What pickup is jammed in there and not really?
I'm willing to bet it's an EVH Wolfgang pickup.
No, can I guess?
You can guess.
It is the humbucker from hell.
Ah.
Yep. Yes.
The one I tried giving you. Yep.
Yes, that's right. And then I looked up what it was. I was like, I don't want that.
So listen, I have a funny story about the humbucker from hell. I was let me get the guitar. I'll show you guys.
We're not going anywhere.
First of all, you would think that pickup is great, like really big ballsy sounding pickup. Nope.
So this is my this was my first guitar that I got from the LAC. And of course, Dave, don't be jealous. I have
fuck you, Rob.
So again, I don't know why I have this on. It's really to see it matches my hat. I really don't use it, but I was deciding what pickups to put in this at the time, and I put a Tone Zone, and I got the Humbucker from Hell from DiMarzio. I'm endorsed with DiMarzio too. I mean, it's been years. I mean, I don't use anything else. And I got the Humbucker from Hell, and I tried it, and I was like, yeah, you know, I liked it, but it needed more friggin' balls, to be honest with you. So I ended up talking to my friend over there, who's the famous guy, Steve Blucher. So I sent it back, and I said, yeah, I said, you think you could, you know, make something with a little ball? So I have the only one, and he named it, and it's called the Humbucker from Brooklyn.
Love it.
It's the Humbucker from Hell with some more balls.
Wow,
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's all. Speaking of the same type of thing, let me show you this. You've seen this before. Everyone.
Speaking of balls,
everyone has
stand up.
Probably seen this guitar before.
Yeah.
So this was Larry's guitar, and it's mine now. But the X2N in the bridge is really an X3N. And there's no such thing as an X3N, but it's overwound so much that it's like being an X3N, and it's the only one. Yeah.
I used to use the X2N too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good sounding pickup. Really is. And, you know, and then a PAF Pro in the neck and a gem pickup in the middle.
Nice.
Well, Rob, what's your favorite neck pickup?
To be honest with you, it's either the PAF Pro or the Mojo, and I was talking to you about this earlier. I like those pickups because a lot of people think that the neck pickup should be bassy, and I think it needs to have the EQ needs to be a little bit more trebly because it needs to cut through. Mm-hmm. So the last couple of guitars I've been using the PAF Pro in the neck, and the Mojo actually even has a little bit more treble than the regular PAF Pro. And bridge. To be honest with you, bridge. I'm into not crazy. A lot of people use, and especially with some of the newer players and the newer DiMarzios that are coming out, or a higher output. And I'm not really into totally tremendous output because I think your tone comes from the pickup, the wood, the cables, the pedals, the amp, and it's a big mixture, you know, the fretboard and everything, and of course your hands. So if you use too powerful of a pickup, or a pickup that's even I don't want to mention the name, but like an EMG, something that uses a battery, I forget, you know, it's not passive. Yeah, active pickup. You're getting the sound of the freaking pickup. I mean, if you use something like that, no matter what you plug it into, it has the same fucking tone. Excuse my language. So yeah, I think that so I found out that my favorite pickups really all kind of have the same sort of EQ-ish range, and they're around 370 to 380 the most. So there's a pickup called the Steve Special, which I have in a lot of my guitars. Recently, there's a new one called the Transition, which is the Steve Lukather pickup.
Love that pickup.
Yeah, and the other one. So all my guitars either have those in it, and then the new one, which is in the new AZ, is the Saturate. And again, that's similar. It's like around I think it's 365 the output in it, and it's not, you know, it's kind of like not crazy across the board EQ wise. So it's very open sounding. And it kind of complements everything else that you're using in your rig.
Well, no one can argue with your tone. I'll tell you that much right now.
Oh,
so
thanks.
Whatever pickups you're using.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and whatever rig you're using, it always sounds great. You know, yeah. I saw videos of you using the Cornford. I saw videos of you using what else did I see? I saw. What else? Was it the Soldano? Did you have the Soldano on at any gigs?
Well, yeah, but most of the stuff you've probably seen recently that I've been posting is probably the DB Mark stuff.
Yeah,
and sometimes the atomic, the modeling, you know, this thing here.
Yeah, but I mean the BB King's thing and the
BB King's was the
Cornford,
atomic.
Right? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And
yeah.
what about the bitter end?
Bitter end was the there was one there was one bitter end I know that had the Cornford in the back.
Yeah, so the Cornford right behind you. Yeah,
Right. Most recently was the DB Mark.
cool.
Yeah, so there's a couple of clips up there.
You know, I used to do every Monday night with Richie Kanata at the bitter end. I did it for several years. Oh yeah, yeah. It just I'm getting too old. I can't stay up that late. It's like
I'm too old. Damn it.
Well, it ends at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that
Damn.
was a fucking gig.
Yeah, it starts at midnight.
Yeah.
So and it just I was like, I can't do it anymore. But
Favorite Van Halen
I
record?
actually think I saw you a couple of nights because we used to play there sometimes on Mondays. It was me and Oz Noy, and then it was
Yeah.
And one night we saw each other walking in. I was coming out, and you were going in.
I vaguely remember that because oh man, what a pain in the ass. But it was a great time, you know, really a great time.
I like that. You like the Bitter End is one venue that I like. I still play there. I mean, there's not really too much else, you know, that's happening.
I know. It's unfortunate. You ever play at 89 North out east on Long Island?
I did. Played there a couple times. I like it there. You know what? It's just it is kind of far.
It's far and it's a little too big. It's hard to get a big crowd in there. That's like, you know, 1,000 plus.
Just people going out. That's what I mean. I've played there, and I mean it was okay, decent crowd. But I mean I've seen like bigger bands play there, and it's still not. For some reason, people just don't go there. I don't know why.
It's very far away. I mean, it's like an hour and a half for me.
Beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Favorite Van Halen record?
Van Halen 2.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I also like tone. You know, everyone loves, of course, the early Van Halen. But I'm telling you, the one, the OU-128 has a great tone on it.
OU-128. Yeah.
I think it's very overlooked. Tone.
It is. And
5150 is cool, but that one is the tone on it is better.
I agree with you. I think he's just starting to use chorus a lot more on that record, but it's still his Marshall. It's the 5150 guitar mostly. It's just, you know, the only problem is the record's recorded too low.
Well, it's thin and it needs to be, you know.
But the guitar tone itself, if you listen to the guitar tone, it's
great. It's great. Speaking about, you know, when you were talking about, who was talking about the drum thing before, about the electronic drums? Jay, you were mentioning about it. Do you know that the 5150 was done on an electronic kit?
Yeah, I think the snare, right, was the only.
At Eddie's, at that studio, you know, if you read the book about that thing, it was like, you know, it was done on one of those electronic kits. And when you listen to it, you can kind of tell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially the toms on that record are like.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a little
what are you gonna? I mean, it's still a great record.
Great record. That's a great record. I used to never be I was always the David Lee Roth era fan until later. I didn't appreciate the other stuff, and now, you know, it's almost like they're on the same level to me now. I like all of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, it's the same band, just a different singer. You know,
we're lucky.
We're
all lucky to love both eras.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the people that are like, no, Van Hagar sucks, Roth this. I'm like, that must suck to only have like 6 albums of Van Halen to love, you know?
Did you guys listen? There's some people that hate it, but did you guys read the Sammy Hagar book? I thought it was great.
I thought it was great too. I have the audio file and it's in the car. It's in my iPod, so whenever it comes up, I stop the shuffle and I listen to it from wherever it is to the end, and it's always great.
You know what it is? He doesn't seem like the type of person that's going to go in there and write a bunch of bullshit. I think he said it the way it is, and it's his version of it. You know, it would be great. Eventually, Eddie's done so much stuff already. Eventually, he should do his own fucking story, write it himself, so everyone could hear his side of everything. I would love to see that.
I think everybody would love to hear something from Eddie at this point.
Yeah. What I would love is a coffee table book of every guitar he owns.
Yeah. I did. Do you have? I have this book that has like I forgot what it's called. It's like an encyclopedia of Van Halen. It shows like every show they played. What did you ever see it?
No.
Let me get it. Hang on.
Oh,
dude.
John BL is going to freak, and Steve Anderson is going to order it.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Van Halen Encyclopedia.
Britannica.
Yeah.
We weren't lying when we said the show was starting at 10 p.m.
I know. I got to use the bathroom.
Go, hurry up, go.
Yeah, go ahead, Johnny.
For 1 second, we had 100 viewers.
That's awesome.
For 1 second, it went up to 100.
That's great.
I got to tell
Desiree,
Rob.
Desiree,
Tell him
I agree with you, Desiree. I don't think Eddie will ever do a book.
No. My favorite part of listening to that. Now, Dave, you said you listened to it. You did the audio.
Yeah, I did the whole. I have. Yeah, listened to the whole.
When
I could probably recite it.
When Sammy says the chapter before 5150, at the very end, he says, and then Eddie Van Halen called. I sat there and was like,
yeah,
Here it is.
yes, it's coming. Like,
Did you see this?
there it is. Look.
Oh, dude, I got to look for that.
It's the Van Halen Encyclopedia. It's like everything, every show that they played. It's really cool. I mean,
I gotta find that book.
Yeah, I think you can get it at what is it? The Van Halen News Desk thing.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Really?
that's where I got it.
What does it go up to? Or till?
5.
Let's see.
It goes up to there's
90,
5. Sorry.
98.
Hmm.
It's like everything. It's like everything they recorded. It's really killer. You guys got to get it. If you're Van Halen, you got to get it.
So it's an actual hard copy because John BL is saying it's free online.
Oh, I don't know.
You have a hard copy, so
Yeah. It's
That's
called
a
the Van
really
Halen
real deal.
Encyclopedia.
That's very cool.
So are there any like details of certain things
Yeah,
that have
like,
happened, or just kind of like this is what happened this date? They played here.
They show you about like like for instance, here's something about it's like when they recorded singles and all that kind of stuff. So it says so they're talking about 5150. The album introduced the band's new lead singer, Sammy Hagar, blah, blah, blah. Then it says Mike used a Spectre J bass. It shows what basses. Effects-wise, Eddie had his Echoplex, a Lexicon PCM42, TS Engineering Trigger, and a Roland DC30 analog chorus. I mean, it goes into everything. His setup included a Steinway piano, which acted as a master keyboard on the MIDI setup that included it goes into all the equipment, every little thing.
That's amazing. By the way, do you have a strobe light going on in that room somewhere?
No, you know what it is? It's my fan.
Okay, because the headstock of the green guitar is flashing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the fan. On the ceiling. No, but it's really cool, man. It's like every detail, like everything.
That's awesome.
And we're such nerds that we love that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Eddie used the Strat on Best of Both Worlds. What? You know, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a. Did you guys read the Satriani book that came out not too long ago? That it's called Strange and Beautiful Music. That's really cool too.
No, I haven't.
And it shows every piece of equipment he used on every song. It's great.
Really?
Yeah, Strange Beautiful Music.
Wow, that's cool. I gotta see that book too.
Yeah.
I'm into that. I really like, looking at the gear that they used and, on what songs and, the different eras and what they were using at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
All good stuff.
Well, Rob, I think that book is going to be sold out on Amazon because Shauna Marie Singh says the book is $24 on Amazon, paperback.
Yeah, so I got the paperback. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of people in here are going to be.
Yeah, if they don't already have it, I think they're going to all buy it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. So we good?
Yeah.
Well, before we split, unless you were already going to cover this, John?
What?
Well, no, just asking Rob how to get a hold of him, his social media stuff, and
Sure.
all that goodness. His phone number, his social,
Yeah, last 4 digits is your social security number.
what time he eats breakfast.
I can tell you funny. I'll tell you that, but then I'll end with a funny story. So, social media is Instagram is at Rob Balducci. Facebook, since when Facebook first started, I didn't know about the page, so I have a Facebook Rob Balducci that's probably like 5,000. So I have the Rob Balducci band. So please, anyone listening, please like that. Twitter, it's at Rob Balducci. What am I leaving out? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on
Tinder.
Google Plus. That might go away. And Twitter, the same thing at Rob Balducci.
No, I said Tinder.
It's just easy.
Sorry.
Oh, Tinder. But coming back to that thing that you said about the phone number and address. So when I did my first record, I didn't do a PO box or anything, and I put like for fan mail. This is before computers. I actually put my address on that record, and basically, I remember at the time people were like, "You're crazy," And I'd be honest with you, even on the Favorite Nation stuff, when I sent the information to Steve Vai wrote me and said, "Robbie, can't put your address on here." And I was like, I said, I met some great people that way. So here's the funny thing is the first record, I didn't put my phone number, but all you do is have to call information, and then people are getting my number. So yeah. I got a lot of crazy calls, but I also got some really cool calls. Like, I'll give you, for instance, I get this one call from some guy, and he's like, I pick up the phone, and I'm like, yeah, hello. And he's like, is this Rob Balducci? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, is this really Rob? And I was like, yeah, this is Rob. I said, I'm answering the phone like I'm talking to you guys. I'm like, yeah, Rob. And I was like, why? And he's like, I just can't believe I'm talking to you. And I was like, well, I said, listen, it's not that exciting. I said, how you doing? What's going on? So he's like, listen, he says, do you give guitar lessons? And I was like, yeah, I give guitar lessons. And he's like, when he tells the story, he says, I said some other funny stuff, but I don't remember what I said. So he's like, well, I live in Brooklyn or Staten Island. He says, you think I could set up some lessons with you? And I was like, sure, of course, let's set it up. So we set it up. So this is probably like 1996. So this guy, I end up meeting this guy, comes to my house. He's like, to this day, he's one of my best friends. I'm the godfather of his daughter. You know what I mean?
Oh, awesome.
So, I mean,
that's a great story.
You meet
Wow.
people, you meet people. I met a lot of people through that. And now, to say that call, of course, you get crazy people calling you up and like saying, you suck, and this and that, and they hang up, and whatever. But I mean, it was well worth putting my information on there.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you get a lot of cool stuff happening and some crazy stuff happening. It's
Dave has flashed his home address on here a couple times.
I have. Well, I'll tell it. If someone wants to send me something, I'll give them my address. I have no problem with that. People want to. They are nice enough to send you nice things, and we get gifts all the time on this show.
Hey, well,
it's it's amazing. The people that watch us, they're all super super nice, and it's that's just it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you still got to be careful.
You do have to. I mean, everyone has to be careful. But Johnny, you pretty much do it correctly. You have a PO box, but I don't have a PO box
either.
So if someone wants to send me something, I'm going to give them my address, just as long as it's not like something that's going to explode in my face.
Yeah, I mean,
like a volute.
You mean
like a volute? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it could get like there's a bunch of nice stories, but there's also great. Even now with the way social media is, so I've had some crazy experience with some people, like, I don't know, threaten they were going to come to my show, and some guy was going to do something to me, so I had to bring for a couple of shows that I played, I had to bring my big brother-in-law came with me, and I'd be a bodyguard because you never know.
Yeah, I just bring Smith and Wesson.
Yeah. I'm not a gun carrier, so I had to bring the muscle.
Okay. These guns. You bring these guns.
Well, Mad Dog says, get ready to receive some fleshlights. You want my address, Mad Dog?
That's funny.
As long as they're not, as long as they're in the original packaging.
Oh, yuck.
Hey, Jason McNamara is in here. How you doing, Jason?
Hey, Jason.
Hey,
I know
Jason.
Jason. Hey, Jason.
Very cool.
I'm having too much fun, man. I don't want to go.
Yeah. Don't you have a child to put to sleep?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
To bed.
To bed.
Get to bed.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Okay. So Rob, again, what's your website?
Website is robbalducci.com.
Awesome. And in the description below will be all the links.
Cool.
So all your everything will be right there, including
www.robbalducci.com, and you could you could order stuff, merchandise through there. I do sell CDs through my website that come with extra goodies, posters and laminates and stuff. People that are into the physical product, but of course you can go on Amazon, you can go on iTunes, and all the usual spots for the digital stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I think I might want to buy all your CDs.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you could throw some autographed guitar picks in there.
Well,
I got some cool picks.
the last 2 days I've been listening a lot to your the first 2 records that are on Spotify, because I don't think Balance is on there.
No, it's not on there.
So I've been listening a lot, so you'll probably get about 2 cents maybe from So I'm doing my part,
Thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, Jason McNamara says Rob's records are great. He has such a beautiful taste of melody. That's a nice thing to say. That's awesome. And it's the truth.
Thank you. I've not to prolong this, but I forgot to mention this. You got to mention, because we were talking about gear, but I'm really into these picks. They're a really cool company. They're called Hawk Picks, and they make really nice. They did some, they put a little RB logo on there for me, but they make beautiful colors and stuff, green, and this is like a purple marble. And I really like. I'm really into I think everything and anything that comes into contact with your guitar, like we were talking about before, strings. You play with your hand, you're going to get a different sound, and I think the pick that you use makes a difference in your tone. And I really like the way these sound. You could even I'm crazy, and I even done tests where I play the same riff with this and that other thing, and I really like the tone of it. So that's what I've been using, and you guys should check them out. They're called Hawk Picks.
So that's a little bit bigger than, say, a Jazz 3?
Yeah, I mean, and they'll do different sizes too. I mean, they'll do a custom size for you. They make bigger ones. This is like a. Let me say, I probably have a Jazz 3 around here. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit bigger.
Right. Yeah.
But it's great. I love it.
How thick is it?
This is probably 1.1.
Okay.
0.2.
Mhm.
So it's kind of, it's thick, but I like the thicker pick more than a thin pick. But they'll do a lot of people are using even thicker ones now, but this is probably like the thickest I'll go, 1.2.
Cool. And what's the name of the company?
They're called Hawk.
Hawk Picks.
Yeah.
Johnny, you should put that in the description as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everything will be in the description,
including your address.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Desiree Dornan says she loves Rob's hat.
Oh, thank you. This was it's custom made for me by a company called his name is Mark Fashone. He does rock kind of clothes. I think he even did some of the Slash stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool guy. Makes kind of rock and roll.
Yeah. Is that a skull paint picture on it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I like it because it matches. See, I kind of got to match everyone's. It kind of matches the guitar a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
What a Hooters you got there.
All I know is that guitar better be coming over my house with you when you come over.
Yes, you got to check it out. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, you think?
Different, but different neck. It's definitely a different neck feel.
Yeah, well, I like all different size necks. You know, I right now I'm really digging the thin Ibanez necks.
Right.
But you know, the EVH Wolfgang necks are a bit fatter. And I mean, I have some old Strats up here that are really big.
Right.
I like, you know, it depends on the guitar I'm playing, but I can get along on pretty much anyone.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So we're really good.
Yes.
Thank you so much again. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Great to meet you. Great to meet you, man. And yeah, come back anytime.
Yeah. Thanks to the people writing in.
You know, we'd like to have you on again for the before the show with you and Larry.
Yeah,
but we'd also like to have you on just before your new record comes out, so we can promote that.
Yeah, I'll be in touch with you about it.
Yeah, please.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, great having you on here, and really, what a great time.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Take care.
Thanks for watching. David Nesdahl.
See you later.
Jay Hannon.
The next show starts at 10:30, right? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Now we all got to go. I'm going to watch The Dirt. You guys got to watch The Dirt. It's going to be fun.
Oh, man. Yeah, I keep hearing about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch it. Is it a movie or a series?
The movie.
Okay, so it's like just the typical. For some reason, I was under the influence that it was like a whole, 10 episodes or something.
Yeah, I think it's like almost 2 hours.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Everyone's saying it's good. I thought it was going to be cheesy, but everyone's saying it's pretty good.
Let's hope they make a real one on Van Halen in a couple years.
Yes.
A real one.
So disappointed with that band.
Get out of here. Take care, guys. Thanks so much.
All righty. Take care.
All right. Good night, everybody. And there he just left.
He's like, I want to go watch that, man.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to go. He stayed longer than he
wanted
to.
All right.
It was nice of him.
All right, everybody. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe. And we'll see you guys later. Actually, we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Tuesday night. Saturday night. Yeah, 35 night. 42. What?
Midnight Eastern. 12 to 4.
My God, that's just insane.
I'm going to see I missed I didn't miss, but I chose not to go to Buckethead tonight to be on the show, and I'm glad I did.
I think you made a wise choice.
Yeah, I think so too. It was a really fun night.
But we are going to see a tribute show tomorrow. Grind, an Alice in Chains tribute band, and Core, a Stone Temple Pilots tribute band. They're playing at the House of Blues over here, so we're going to go to that.
We'll have a good time.
We will.
All right. I'm hanging up, everybody. All right. See you guys later.
See ya.
johnnybeane.com. Bye.